This is Cadillac's hit music station, 107.9 CDY. I'm Rich Spicer, and we are very, very delighted here on this edition of Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank, to be joined actually by a guy that you and I both used to work with once upon a time.
Oh, my gosh, yes. And if you can believe the organization that we're talking about, I served on that board with this guy.
So, welcome to Cadillac. Everybody knows everybody else, right?
Everybody does.
Well, and I have to say, Love Inc. is an organization that I would say most people in our audience have either benefited from or donated to over the years.
100%.
So, I hope so, but
it
seems like I explain it a lot, too.
I haven't officially announced you yet, so
I don't exist yet.
So we're wishing him into existence right now.
Yes.
It's Mark Featherston here with us right now. Mark, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
And I'm really here today to talk about our COVID-friendly golf outing.
Oh, I like how that's
is,
presented.
Golf is COVID-friendly anyway, isn't it?
I know, but we've made some changes to the way we've been doing our golf outing to make it more amenable for the current times.
Okay.
So it's going to be a little bit different. There's not going to be a raffle.
Okay.
Usually we put everybody in a room and do raffle and everybody wins prizes and stuff, which is a lot of fun. You spend extra money doing it, but it puts us all in one room trying to do things.
Yes.
So we're not going to do that. We're going to have the way it's going to work is you go and play. We'll have some sort of lunch for you. You grab it on the way, get in your car, and you go home, and we will email the winners their prizes.
Love it.
We'll email them that they won, and we'll get the prizes to them for whatever longest drive and
so they get the thrill of being able to get out and play golf and help out Love Inc. and find out a little bit later.
So when is it and what time does it start and
Okay.
how do people get involved?
Really easy. It's Saturday, June 12th at the Cadillac Country Club. And it starts it's a tee time of 8 o'clock. You can get there as early as 7.
Okay.
But you can get there at 7:30 too without any big problem.
Okay.
We'll tee off right then. We do two things that we do the regular golf, and it's a scramble. So we put it in teams of 4. If you don't have 4, we'll find you a team.
Okay.
We'll put people together with you. Besides the golfing, we do mulligans, which many golf tournaments do. And another thing we do is hand grenades. Hand grenades are really cool.
I've heard of mulligans, but never hand grenades
neither.
before.
That's really cool. And a hand grenade, you pick up your ball and you throw it.
Oh!
What?
So
Like towards the... Is this baseball? What are we doing here?
So I hit my ball over into the weeds.
Okay.
And I don't want to hit out of the weeds, right?
No.
Scramble. But it was a
funny.
pretty good hit. So I can pick my ball up, throw it into the fairway, and play on.
How much does something like that cost a person?
Oh, we only charge like $5. It's just for fun.
Oh my! I mean, I think I might play this golf tournament. I've got all the grenades. I'm never going to use the.
I watch a lot of golf on TV, and I've heard a lot of commentators say you couldn't throw it out there any better. There you go.
That's what we're trying to do.
I mean, okay. Let's just whoa. Okay, so a mulligan is you get another try.
Yeah.
What do those cost?
They're $5 too. But most people are familiar with mulligans. The hand grenades is a different concept to most people, and they don't really understand what they are or do. And you can. There have been a lot of times where I've missed the green, and you throw it at the green, and you think it's going to be like 2 feet from the pin when you throw it.
Yeah.
You can't throw it that good.
Well,
I can't.
What if you practiced? What if you went? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you should go rehearse throwing the balls on the green. But I'm always disappointed on my throws. They never go quite as well as I thought they would.
I think that's fun. And for the, diehard golfers out there that are like, wait a minute. What I would say is it's a fundraiser.
It is.
And a friend raiser, too.
It is. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. And this adds to the camaraderie when you do something like this.
Oh, sure.
And I will cut it out just as soon as the Masters starts playing a scramble.
Okay.
We won't do any of these side things anymore for the people who say, oh, that's not golf anymore.
Let's ask Phil
you know what?
Mickelson
We're
what
already
he thinks
playing a
about
scramble.
I'm sure to a diehard golfer, it isn't even natural to pick up your ball and throw it.
No.
You probably have to reprogram your brain.
You do.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It is fun. So how many golfers do you want to have registered?
We've got room for 60.
Okay. And where you at?
I'm not real sure right now.
Okay. But let's get to 60.
We want to get to 60.
Yeah. And what does it cost to enter? And do you enter in foursomes?
You can enter single or on a foursome.
Okay.
Either way. But it's $75 a golfer.
And it's a Cadillac Country Club.
It's a Cadillac Country Club, and that pretty much pays for everything. And we do provide cookies at the turn.
Whoa, yum.
You need a little sugar to
A unique thing of the Love Inc.
Yeah.
group. We find somebody at one of the churches to make us cookies, and they make cookies at the turn, and we're gonna probably put them in sandwich bags so they'll be safe too.
They'll be safe to eat. So Rich, you have to know for our listeners, Mark, isn't this true, that don't know how Love in the Name of Christ is funded? Resale stores, okay, that's important. But all of these most, let's say, of these area churches, monthly give to Love in the Name of Christ. And then it's wonderful because when someone comes to them, and let's say they don't have a food pantry, or let's say they don't have a warm weather pantry like some wet clothing pantry, then they can send this person to Love in the Name of Christ. Love in the Name of Christ interviews them, identifies what the need is, and then helps them. So it's just a wonderful partnership between our faith community and this nonprofit. So I had to get that in, Mark. Okay.
Well, it's even beyond that, because what happens is, if you have a need, if you're in need, and it could be your mom's got to go down to Ann Arbor for cancer treatments.
Right.
We have like gas cards that we could give you for going down there. It could be children need everything they need to go back to school. They may need a backpack and shoes and a coat. Well, where a lot of the churches work is one church will have a pantry where they will give away backpacks.
Right.
Another church will have a pantry where they give away coats. Another one may give away shoes. And so what Love Inc. does is they put all these together. So
it's a clearinghouse.
You don't have
It
to go.
is.
You don't have to go to 3 or 4 different churches to meet your needs. You can go to Love Inc. and the churches reach back out that way and do their missions. It's great.
It's a collaboration. I remember one year, a man that owned a local bike shop donated brand new bikes to adopted and foster children. And it was just so wonderful to put these bikes into play for these families, And so I think the organization is so reputable that business owners think, well, I've got this. Who do I give it to? How do I get it into the right hands? And then a phone call is made.
Have you found, Mark, that people are more able to donate now? Because, for 15 months, people couldn't have garage sales, or, there's been a buildup over the last, 15 or so months. Have you found that to be true?
I think so. And plus, they got the checks from the government, too. But last year, we didn't have a golf outing. And we do 2 fundraisers. One is our golf outing in the spring, and the other is our dinner that we do in the fall. And last year, we did neither of those, but we did a fundraiser, and we actually raised more money by just asking for money. We didn't do anything. We just asked for money, and we had the little thermometer up in front of our office on Sunnyside, and it raised quite a bit of money. It was very, very successful. This golf outing won't raise as much money as we usually do, because we're not doing all the things that we normally do. We're not doing the raffle. We're not going to ask for as much from each person. They pretty much, the only thing they can do is buy mulligans and hand grenades, and we even limit that besides the initial thing.
The entry fee, yeah.
The entry fee. So it's not going to make as much money as we usually make, but we just felt like there's kind of a need to do something, almost keep the time, keep people in playing golf and having a outing that they can go to. So we'll try and gear up full steam next year. When we decided to redo this, we were still wearing masks.
And Mark, I will tell you, Oasis had to do the same thing. They skip Celebrate Women because you can't put 250 women out at the Cadillac Grill right now, right? So last year skipped. This year did just a basket raffle, and I call it place holding. Hold your place, because you don't want another nonprofit.
Keep it at the front at top of mind.
That's that too, but also that window of time, right?
Yeah.
You don't want another nonprofit to go, well, I think the week of, whatever is available. So I think it's really wise. And I will also tell you that golf, if you talk to area golf pros, will tell you that the popularity of golf is skyrocketing right now because of the safety feature of COVID.
Right, because you go out and all you have to worry about is the one person you're riding in a cart with.
Right.
I ride with my wife, so I'm really not worried.
Right, yeah, you're already hanging out. Yeah, right.
And if you're vaccinated, that's even the better. And but we still weren't ready to put 200 people or 60 people in a room. We just felt like that's still pushing it. But by next year, we should be up and going regular.
Considering all the fact that on July 1st, a lot of the indoor regulations are being lifted, it certainly looks like next summer everything can be back full swing.
Yep.
I know it.
No, sorry, full swing. I didn't mean to. That wasn't meant to be a joke. But
it's okay.
Well,
we'll give you a mulligan.
Okay.
Yeah, right. A hand grenade.
Full throw, a hand grenade. Yeah.
Well, so in this thing, anybody who's trying to plan anything is so frustrated right now. I mean, he's got a smile on his face, everybody, so that's a good thing. But trying to plan events right now, I have a dear friend getting married in June, and I'm telling you, this wedding list went from 300 people, 200 people, then a phone call, 100 people. Now back up. I mean, it's the invitations are sitting. It's like, we got this batch of invitations, this batch of invitations, and this batch of invitations. You know, I mean, how maddening to be an event planner in any capacity right now. So, good for you guys, Mark, for forging forward with it. Tell us a little bit more about the resale stores, because I'm not sure everybody knows about how important those are.
Right. Well, we've got two of them. One of them is in Manton, and then there's one in Reed City. And they actually generate probably more of our funds than anything else. The Reed City store has been going on for quite a while and is doing just terrific. I think we've got a brand new manager in there.
Oh, wow.
Very excited.
Okay.
And it sounds weird, but Ebel's is about to open or is opening.
Right.
And I think that will also help build traffic for our Reed City store.
It will drive people there. That has been shown statistically that the more restaurants you have, the more people come to your town to go to restaurants. Yeah. Truly. Not just one.
Ebel's is such a unique store, too. I think that will do a really good job of drawing people in there, too. And they'll have all their meats and all that stuff.
Oh, my gosh. We've already been talking for 15 minutes. Can you believe it? You can tell he's a media guy.
Yeah,
totally comfortable on the mic. We're going to be right back with more of Love in the Name of Christ and Mark Featherston.
Cadillac Unscripted continues on 107.9 CDY, sponsored by Independent Bank. My co-host is Katy Huckle, and we're very, very proud and privileged to have Mark Featherston with us this weekend.
We are.
To talk about this big event going on for Love Inc. 2 weeks from today.
Yep, so June 12. And what's so important about this is that all of these nonprofits have had to give up their events for fundraising. And so I'm just so proud of the board for making the decision to forge forward with it and to do it safely. So 60 golfers, okay, normally they get together for prizes and raffles and all this afterwards. That's not going to happen. They're going to golf. They're going to get their cookie at the turn in a little bag. They're going to go home and get a phone call on who won what and prizes and all this kind of stuff. So well done, Mark. Whose decision was it to move forward with the event?
Oh, it was a group. Everybody on the board was for doing this. So
okay.
It was everyone.
You mentioned that last year you couldn't have the fundraiser, but you had a fundraiser anyway. How did you let people in the community know that you needed money, that you were raising money? Because you said you exceeded your goal.
Yeah, we did it on our website.
Okay.
And we actually did something unique. We added, or is it unique? It was unique to us. We added online payments on our website. So you can go to Love Inc. and pay. You can make a donation today if you wanted to, or you could pay for the golf outing today online.
Okay,
you can just
so
go right on the golf. If you just want to go on the Love Inc. website, and you can put in their credit card information, and it's all handled through PayPal. But
awesome.
No big
so
deal.
you guys became high tech. I like it.
We've become at least tech.
Tech, not high tech. Okay, so this is my question that I love to ask leaders in nonprofits, and it is, if money, you guys just built not that long ago, rebuilt, beautiful new building, but if money were no object, where would Love in the Name of Christ go? What would be high level the dream?
The big dream for Love Inc. is really just servicing the needs of the churches and the people in the community. There's two ways that we really help. And if you think about I think the origins of Love Inc. was, the typical story is somebody comes into a minister and says, I need $150 for a bus ticket. Mm-hmm. And the ministers, they're ministers. So they go, okay, how do I get $100? So now they just say, I'm going to turn you over to Love Inc. and call Love Inc. And Love Inc. solves the problem and finds out if they really do need a bus ticket or if they just want $120 for a great weekend. And they're pretty good at doing their investigations and background checks. I don't know what we'd do if we had unlimited funds. We're not the kind of company, we're not the kind of charity that's looking for unlimited funds. We're looking for operational funds, that we want to be able to meet the needs that we have. If somebody needs a coat, we want to give them a coat. One of my favorite stories was a guy had just gotten out of prison, called Love Inc., and said he was starting a new job and needed steel-toed boots. Mm-hmm. So the intake person didn't just say, okay, get a size and let's get him some boots. He says, well, what kind of job? He says, well, I'm going to be doing construction outside. She says, do you have a coat? The guy says, no. Do you have gloves? The guy says, no. So they put together this whole package for him. So here's a guy that gets out of prison. He's served his time. He doesn't have anything. He's starting all over again. And he wouldn't have lasted long in a job in November in Cadillac without a good coat and gloves and everything else besides just the boots. So they're always looking like, how do they really fulfill the needs? Right. And then so they dig deep and try and find out what the needs really are and satisfy those needs. So no matter how much money we had, that's what we'd be trying to do. Maybe we'd buy some extra equipment or some extra beds, like hospital beds or something like that. We've got a great group. I think it's out of St. Mary's, provides a lot of durable medical goods. That's part of something that can be done through Love Inc. too. But different churches, different things.
Right. It's an amazing partnership. And dovetailing on that, Rich, there's also an educational piece to this. This is just incredible. It's called Higher Grounds, and people can come to a class, and maybe that class is on parenting, or maybe that class is on fiscal responsibility, or maybe that class is on health and cooking, or cooking healthy meals and living a healthy lifestyle, whatever. So the folks can come to the class, and then there's like this pantry. And if they come to the class and listen and learn, then when they're done, they can go get toiletries or groceries or whatever that is. And it's just incentivizing people to live a better life. And they bring in experts. So they brought in bankers on the fiscal responsibility, nutritionists or whatever when it comes to diet needs, and a counselor when it comes to family life. And I just love watching that outreach too. It's a hand up, not a handout.
Mm-hmm. And we have two versions of that. We have one in Reed City and one in Cadillac. And I think the Reed City, when we're doing it in a parking lot of a church.
I love it.
And it's the COVID thing. We had to cancel the Cadillac one for the spring, but we'll be back in the fall, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Full guns blasting. And it gets tied in with the courts. It gets tied in with DSS, but it's completely a private enterprise. It's not government funded or supported. So that's another thing we need to generate our own funds for. It's a great thing. So that would be another thing we do if you gave us $1 billion. We'd be spending it on improving our access to the
more people.
More people.
What's interesting about the organization is people do not come to the building itself. That is where the volunteers are housed, where the board meets, where the executive director is, etc. It's complete and total phone intake and outreach. And that allows those folks to talk amongst each other and problem solve for these folks. And so there are files like, okay, let's help this person because we know this. I've just been amazed at how well the stewardship of the donation that is made and how it goes to the right place and how decisions are made. I mean, it's a powerhouse.
And you have a great group of volunteers who actually, some of the heavier items, that you've got a trailer, you go out, you've got volunteers, and they go out and they get the stuff and bring it back to you.
Well, we have people it's funny, there's a big furniture outlet in, it's actually another Love Inc. that gets a lot of furniture in Holland. And we take this big truck that someone secured from us from a furniture store. I won't say who, but she's sitting in the room. And they drive this big...
Well, there's only three of us, so...
They drove this big box truck all the way down there and pick up stuff all the time and bring it up to the stores and sell it out of our stores in Reed City and our store in Manton. We also will do some pickups and deliveries. We use trailers for it goes to the Higher Ground Fund. We have like a trailer with all the goodies in it that we deliver for the store that you were mentioning.
Well, and wheelchair ramps, you still doing that?
Yeah, we have a group that builds wheelchair ramps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so these people that are, maybe you built your house a certain way and then life happens, And now, I mean, it's not free to get, and so if you can identify your need and explain what's going on, Then we've got a builder consult that helps on this. And then we've got like the worker bees. They come out with their hammers, the nails, and the wood, and build the ramp. It's really an incredible outreach.
And it's all there for the asking. You just have to ask it and prove the need for it, right?
It is. I think one of the things that was hardest to hear, you don't know about everybody's need, and this is why it's so important to live a grateful life. There was I think she had adopted children and moved into an apartment, and there were bed bugs in the apartment. And all of a sudden, we were funding fumigation, and it wasn't at rubber mattress pads or something like that to make sure that everybody was safe. And I just thought, boy, don't take anything for granted, and then be ready to help others. You know, so important.
Yeah, we never know what items we're going to need.
Right.
And we do our best to fulfill the need. Like
well, and I was doing some help at the Oasis shelter one time, and a call came in, and it was a woman that didn't speak English. It's a fascinating story. But she was only going to be at the Oasis shelter for so long, but had nobody in the area. Well, Oasis, their role is to help people in crisis and this counseling, this kind of thing. They don't have money to move people here and there or back home. And the first thing that the shelter advocate said to me is, I'm going to call Love in the Name of Christ. And I said, and she said, a bus ticket. She's going to be here for like 2 days, and then she had a little one and needed to get home. Mm-hmm. And that was just an immediate yes. So I think the board members, when they do reach out into the community, people rarely say no to Love Inc. Because if you know what they're doing, you're just amazed.
What's the most common thing that the money that is raised from an event like this, Mark, is spent on?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't do the intakes myself. But it goes back in. Most of it goes back into solving a problem. And I don't know. The coats mostly come from the churches or bus tickets, and we've helped sometimes with certain bills or certain problems on a one-time only basis. We won't set somebody up where we pay for their heat for the winter, but we may help them with a bill. That type of thing.
It's folks that are literally in crisis. And this goes back to, Rich, old-time churches where the pastor was always there or the minister was always there. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, knock, 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 I don't have a place to stay. That's how it was long ago. And so this is like a clearinghouse. I'm actually getting the chills talking about it. This is like a clearinghouse because the director will come to the board and talk to the board about, here are the needs that were identified, and you just can't even believe the need out there. And then the intake people are very good in a gentle and kind way of helping people and kind of being almost like a life coach. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Employment, helping guide people with critical next steps, because we're not always at our best. We don't always know what we should do next.
Right.
And I think it's mostly ladies. Sorry, boys, but I think it's mostly ladies.
Mostly, yes.
They're wonderful, aren't they?
They are. They're what makes the thing work. The intake people are really the keys, and they listen. They're really good listeners.
That's right.
And sometimes that's really all people need is someone to listen and someone to help, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot more by listening, Rich.
What? No, I'm kidding.
That's the Rich coming from me. No pun intended. Rich.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I love it.
So, Mark, I guess in the couple minutes we have left here, let's circle back around, give a date, give contact information of how folks can participate with this. It sounds like this would be a great day out for a small office. Some team building, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's going to be on Saturday. So if most offices that are closed on Saturday could go out and have a fun day. June 12th, that's 2 weeks from today, right?
You're pretty safe on June 12th to have decent weather.
Well, actually, we used to have it in May, and it snowed on us like a couple of years. And so I moved it into June.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And it's at the country club, starts at tea times at 8 o'clock, which isn't too early for golfers. It's early for some of us, but not for golfers.
No.
And you really don't have to be a golfer to participate. This is just for fun. We used to have a last prize, but we quit doing it because somebody got offended because we gave them slow pokes and stuff like that. Tennis balls.
Slow pokes. That's the actual candy. Have you ever had one? They're caramel in it. I mean,
no.
They're hard on your orthodontia, but they are so good.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
yeah,
I'll get you some.
Was not familiar with them.
Yummy.
Okay.
I think it's funny. Okay.
And we gave them a towel too, but they didn't like it, so we kind of stopped doing that.
Oh.
So we just want to come and we'll celebrate you. And nobody will really know if you're finished last this year.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you'll have to outhook me to get there anyway.
Okay, so
I'm playing so badly this year.
You're not a slicer.
I do whatever is called for to get to the woods the best.
Okay.
So, Mark, I'm gonna up the ante. Whoever wins this thing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make them my new Katy cake. It's the big boom boom cake. Yes. So you
right.
call me, and you can stop by my office and get it to whomever. But I'm gonna throw that out there just because I want you guys to sell out.
Can we talk about the boom boom cake and what's in it?
We can. It's a lot of chocolate. It's a lot of caramel.
Oh.
Nutella and.
Oh my gosh.
And?
My daughter introduced me to Nutella. I'd never had it before in my entire life.
It's a big European thing. Yes.
Yeah.
But the kicker is the marshmallow cream. Oh. All of those. I know. Listen. Too much is not enough, Mark.
You got to give that phone number now.
Well, you can call Love Inc. for, and gosh, 779-1222, I think is the phone number for them.
Or the website.
Or you can go to the website, or the country club has some applications. I dropped them off so you can just swing by the country club, and they've got some applications and some forms to fill out. Like I said, the big thing we're trying to add this year is the email address. You can just put your name and email. It's got a place for your address and city and phone and all that. But
so, Mark, if someone's really busy and they can't make it to the golf outing, you'll still take their money.
Yeah, they can always. Love Inc. will take your money anytime.
All day, every day.
And in fact, people donate to us every month, and we usually get a phone list from the director and says, call these 4 or 5 people and thank them for their donation, and we try and do that from the board members. Mm-hmm. So you're always welcome to donate to Love Inc., or you can donate to your church.
You're doing important work. Thank you so much on behalf of the community for all of the lives that you're touching, Mark.
Thank you.
Big stuff.
2 weeks from today, sign up, and you're helping your community just by swinging a club, no matter how good or bad you're doing it.
That's right.
All right. Mark Featherston, our guest this morning on Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY, sponsored by Independent Bank. Join us next week, same time, same station, for more local chat on 107.9 CDY.